Okay, so hold on, Joe. Let me get some shit off my chest real quick. Let me say something. For all you motherfuckers who voted to get all my cousins to go back to their country, don't let us catch your ass outside Cinco de Mayo. You understand what I'm saying? Don't let me catch your ass outside having a good time, drinking with chips, dip, tacos, and salsa, listening to Bad Bunny. If you voted to kick my cousin and them out the country and make them go back to their own place, don't let us catch your ass outside on Cinco de Mayo. No, you're banned. No, hell no. Sit in the house, listen to some country music or some shit. Don't come outside with us, goddamn, because we're going to be outside with cuz and them, having a good old time.
Yes, we are.
You know what I'm saying, Joe? I just had to put that out there, man.
We are the one.
Yeah.
We are the
yeah. Now, look. I got me a heavyweight in the building. You feel what I'm saying? I'm honored that this gentleman is sitting down with me, so I don't want to waste no time because I got a bunch of stuff I want to get into. I got a bunch of questions. Mark, you ready? Esai, you ready? Joe, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, man, let's do this. Welcome back to the I-70 podcast. It is your boy, Jonathan Little, a.k.a. John. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, man. Make sure you tap into everything I got going on, man, please, because I got one of them ones today. You feel what I'm saying? I'm excited. I'm just blessed this gentleman is gracing me with his presence. You know what I mean? Now, before we get into it, let me run down some accolades, because y'all know that's what John like to do over here at I-70 podcast. I'm going to give my guests they flowers because they need it. Okay, legendary individual in the building today. Multi-time Grammy-nominated producer and songwriter. Has worked with some of the biggest artists in the game, Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, and my baby, Jill Scott, and many more. I just had to make sure I get Jill Scott in there. Love you, girl. You know what I'm saying? My mama love this too. She gonna be, who is that? Okay. Curated the music for multiple seasons on the hit show Empire. Okay. A philanthropist. He gives back to the underserved youth of Kansas City through his foundation, District Is. Just a kid from the dot. We got Joe Black in the building. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, man. Great introduction, man.
Man, appreciate that, bro.
Make me feel good around
That's
here.
what I'm talking about, man. That's what I aims to do for my guests.
Mezcal don't hurt, either.
You gonna make me have to get some. Hey, make sure look, get the mezcal. Make sure my dog got something he need to reload. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know John can't do the tequila, y'all. I get to sweating, and this episode will turn into some negative shit. You know what I mean? Now look, let's get into some background info real quick, bro. Just a kid from the dot.
Yeah.
Right. Growing up, we in the dot right now, to be exact. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out my dog, Mike Simmons. We all at the shop, Cigar
family.
Lounge.
That's Mike Simmons' family, man.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? So, growing up in the dot, man, like, did you always know it was going to be music, or was it something else that you wanted to do?
It was basketball, honestly.
Oh, shit. Now, wait a minute now. Now we talking now.
Yeah, a lot of people, they forget. One of my friends told me years ago, he was like, man, you became so good at what you're doing now, people forgot that part of you.
That she was a hooper, okay.
Yeah, they forgot, but, I was blessed to play basketball. I did it at a high level, went to Colorado State.
That's right.
Division I, went overseas for a little bit, and, basketball was my thing, but music was always in my heart, raised from a family of, musicians and preachers. And
in the church?
Oh, yeah, I'm a preacher's kid, man.
Now, listen, and I want to say this, y'all. Y'all know John can't sing for nothing. I was in the church choir. But listen, Sister Diana, she just threw my whole, when she told me I was tone deaf, I gave up after that. I was like, oh, well, fuck this. Okay, I guess I'm doing the wrong thing here. Now, but with basketball, let me ask you a question, bro. Who got the best hoopers, man? The Kansas side or Missouri side of KC? Yeah, I did that. That's how I'm starting. Yeah, that's how we get this interview going. You know what I'm saying?
That's a tough thing to talk about.
Okay,
I think that there are different. At one point, Kansas, the dot was very guard driven, and it was a style, and so I think they're just two different styles of play.
I hear that.
But to be honest, like I play with something on the Kansas side because we battle on the Kansas side, and I think. But the Kansas side, for me, it made me a better, playing a hooper where you talk about Vic Williams, Nate Johnson, Joe Webb. You talk about Earl Watson, who was my
shout out Earl Watson, yes sir,
who was my teammate. Grew up since kindergarten. I can go C.J. Horn. You got Chris Chestnut. You got all these kind of guys that push you to the next level. You got Jabo, who I grew up watching. Yeah, it just pushed you to be that dog. And that's what I loved about Wyandotte County. It made you be a dog. So when you went on the Mo side, it was like, oh, we going at you.
That's right.
on at you.
Yeah, I had to ask that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's like, you feel that too, huh? You know what I'm saying? You feel strong, because you know you're a point guard hooper yourself, you know what I mean?
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, we don't, because listen, Eastside be at the church league whooping up on niggas at the church league. So we really don't know how good he is, Joe, because, you know, the competition ain't all the way there. I'm going to take him to some of the good runs.
Okay.
I got you, bro, because my big brother, he played ball overseas, my big brother played ball at K-State.
Okay.
So he go to the pro runs at Lifetime and at Hy-Vee and all that. We going to go Eastside, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have bro hook that up for us, bro. I want to see what you got.
Okay,
All right, my bad, player. My bad. I be trying my dog every episode. Y'all know how it go. Now, before we move on from basketball, let me ask you this, Joe. In your opinion, who's the best basketball player you played against or played with?
The coldest player I've seen in Kansas City metro area was Jerron Rush.
Jerron Rush. I watched the documentary on him.
Jerron Rush. It was like watching LeBron.
Yeah.
You know, real talk. Look, to me, Jay Rush was LeBron of our era.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And even the guy, and to this day, people like LeBron and all the others, they give him that respect because he was that guy. And that's coming out of Kansas City, there's no other than, you know, it's some amazing hoopers, but Jerron, he was that guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now, you know, you went to Colorado State, went overseas. One thing I want to ask you, being a former, you know, college football player, I remember when football ended for me, and how lost I was. Mm-hmm. How was it for you when you realized basketball wasn't gonna be anymore?
Man, it was a transition, man. Like, it really was. It's like, what, you know, people don't understand how much you put into when you're a college athlete, and how much it's like training, it's studies, it's training, it's hoop, it's studying film, it's, you know, you're so engulfed in that that you don't realize that there are real things going on as well other than what you're in. And that was our life, you know, and that was the thing that, you know, kept me on the path that I was on, and that was our focus, and it was 100% commitment to that. Yes. And so, I mean, that's mind, body, spirit. It was just like, hoop was what I, you know, lived for, and woke up, all right, what are we doing? We working out, we got to train. And so to have that, you know, not be the forefront, the good thing I was able to do is take that work ethic and move it to the next realm of my life, the next phase of my life. And it was just one of those things. It's like, man, you know, dang, it was a very tricky transition.
Talk about it now.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna hold you. It was like, what is my identity? Without
there it is,
basketball.
Bro.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so that was like, all right, what is it like? Because people know me from this, but now it's like, do I go get a 9 to 5? What is how am I gonna make the money? You know, and so it is an identity. You know, you have to adjust. You know, because that has been your life for so long. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I echo that same sentiment, Joe, bro. Because for me, I can honestly say when football ended and I realized it was, you know, I wasn't gonna play ball no more, I was lost, man. Like you said, it's an identity thing, because we all us athletes who, you know, was good in high school and went to play college ball, all us thought we was going to the league. And you got to think that way.
You have to.
You have to. There's no way you're not going to wake up 5 a.m., do all this extra work and study hard and all that if you don't think you're going.
Facts.
So when it ended for me, man, I was lost because, like you said, I had no idea. I had every thought in my head, okay, I'm going to be here. Yeah. I didn't think about nothing else. No. I didn't have no plan B. I wasn't thinking about nothing. So for me, when it all ended, I started getting into trouble because I'm like, well, I don't know what the hell I'm finna do. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because everybody know me for doing this. And this is all I know how to do. Yeah. I wouldn't think about, you know, I wouldn't, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Me personally, I wasn't taking school serious or none of that. I was straight football and having fun. That's all I focused on. So when it ended, man, it was tough. And the only reason I asked you that, Joe, because, excuse me, every year, it's thousands of college players who have to face that reality that it's over. Yes. And it's a tough one, man, for everybody who, for everybody who, you know, don't know. And like, even with the draft, you got these kids prank calling, you know, goofy, come on, man. That's goofy, bro. Yeah, like, goofy. That hurt my heart for any of them athletes, not just Shador. All them athletes who went through that, bro. You don't do that, bro, because that is somebody's life you playing with.
Yeah, man. And then, you know, people want to, they like to poke. And then they want to hide behind it's you need to own up to what you did, because that was super, to me, disrespectful.
For sure.
It shouldn't be tolerated. It should have been, I know it was a $350,000 fine or something like that. It should have been more than that, you know, because at the end of the day, man, like, this is somebody, like you said, you work so hard for this. And for somebody to play around with you like that
On that day.
on that day,
It's
like, come on, man. I'm already going through the emotions of not going in the first.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm supposed to be there, but now I'm thinking, all right, I'm getting out of here, and you hit me with that. You know, it's just, yeah.
Yeah, that sucked, man. I had to speak on that because that was because for me, Joe, I'm like I be disappointed, bro, because it's like, where are we coming to a society where that's funny?
Yeah.
Where that's what we doing now. Like,
Yeah.
oh, man, like, have a heart, bro. Like, be a human being at the end of the day,
100%.
man. But yeah, like you said, bro, that fine should have been more, goddamn it.
Yeah,
like
way
the
more.
Atlanta Falcons should have came up out of me. What's 250,000 to the Atlanta Falcons?
Nothing.
That's nothing.
Nothing.
That's a monthly payment.
That's a
Mark.
concession stand.
Yeah. That's
you
a
know,
merch. You know what I mean?
merch, you know, like, come
Yeah.
on.
So now, post basketball, where did the music come into play? Where did you transition in? Because you already did it as a child. Where did you transition back into music?
Well, you know, like, it never really left because it's funny because my homeboys, I was so into music and writing music and everything else like that, that I would take my Pell Grant,
Okay.
you know, and I went and got me a Triton keyboard. Back then, Triton was the thing, so I had my Triton keyboard. So I would take that wherever I was, you know what I mean? Like, so it was one of those things, like, music was always at the forefront. And, you know, music and sports and basketball and all that, and football and any other sport, they kind of like just merged together. So it was one of those things, like, it was always a part of me because it was something that I loved and enjoyed doing. So it really never left. That was like, you know, I played the piano and do all that kind of stuff. But just basketball was just like the hobby at that time.
Yes, sir.
You know, so yeah, it never left. I'm a preacher's kid at heart, man, for real. And I grew up in the church, so singing and writing music, I'm around it. I've been around it my whole life.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And then, so when did you decide, okay, this is what I'm going to do?
Man, it was like right when I got back, my homeboy was like, bro, you really should take this music thing serious. And so I was blessed, man. Somebody had, his name is Daryl Gilmore. He had introduced me to being a mortgage broker.
Okay.
And, man, I closed on a couple of deals, and I'm like, I was making bank. And
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, oh, shoot, I'm going to buy my whole studio. So I went and bought my equipment, you know, and so I had my home studio set up and was, you know, getting at it. And so that was my thing. Like, I'm going to close on houses because a lot of my homeboys is in the NBA.
Right.
So they like, hey, Joe, do my house for me. So I was getting great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, cool. I had, you know, Earl did a couple houses with me. A couple of my homies did some houses with me. And I just used that money to kind of like, you know, fund my, you know,
like
my craft in that.
Yeah.
So.
Like, and man, you want to know what, man? One thing I do want to ask you, bro, and I'm jumping the gun, but I got to ask, first and foremost, shout out to my homegirl, Deanna Hustle. You know, that's my kinfolk. That's my cousin, St. Louis native. If it's one individual who, I'm going to tell you this, Joe, if it's one individual who I study and watch, because I'm going to say this, I think I'm a bad motherfucker on these mics as far as a personality.
Yeah.
But that is one individual I'll be like, man, Deanna cold.
She cold, bro.
And she asked you, well, you said something on her podcast, the Off Air Hustle. Make sure you go like, subscribe, share.
Yeah.
You said something very profound, bro. You got to pay your dues and do something for free to start out. Expound on that, please, bro.
Well, you know, like, I just left a basketball game and I'm watching these kids play, and a lot of them don't know how to really lay it on the line.
Okay.
They think that, you know, everybody wants to get to the next level.
Yeah.
But they don't understand there's a lot of sacrifices that are made when you get to that next level, or to get to the next level. And so, like, I spent a lot of time because a lot of it is just really, it's like for me going to get a college education, me paying my dues and that stuff that's for free is like I'm getting a free college education by somebody just giving me the game and showing me, and be able to sit in on a session, or for my mentor that lives right down the street on 18th and State, you know, like him sitting me down and say, hey, listen, this is going to be your school.
Okay.
You know, I'm at Professor X's house learning, you know, the gifts and you know, the things that I need to know to be a great and a successful producer, writer, artist, vocal arranger, whatever you have it. And so sometimes it's just sitting in the room to get that free game, because a lot of times, and our being in the room to be active and be in the system, I call it like being in the field. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, you know, they shun that, especially people, I hate to say it, here in Kansas City, they think that they see what's happening on TV and they think that's the way it is. Yeah. I'm like, that's not how it go, bro. Like, you know, people are in, and it's producers that I know that are big producers that are like, hey, here, I'm sending that pack out and you guys talking about, yeah, I need to get paid up front. It's like, yeah, everybody want to get paid.
Yeah.
But bro, are you really, what gives you and what qualifies you to get that check? You know what I'm saying? And so like for me, paying my dues was just like being in the sessions, giving my time. I might do some things for free, just because I wanted to be in the midst and learn what I am missing.
Right.
And so I, just always in the gym, I'm shooting. And so when I get to the big leagues and it's my time to shine on that big platform, there's nothing that stumps me because I've already been in motion. You know what I'm saying? So, and
that's why I wanted. And you capped it off perfectly, Joe. That's what I took from it.
Yeah.
Because with this podcast thing, I don't charge nobody, and because it's like for me, I've always felt like, man, I ain't did nothing just yet. Yeah. I'm on my way, but this is all practice for me.
Yeah.
For when an individual like yourself and bigger come sit down with me. You know what I mean? Because one thing I pride myself on, I'm going to treat every guest like they're a superstar.
Yeah.
So when that time comes from when, let's say, Obama come sit down, I done did this 100 times before you came. We good.
But see, that's how I treated the music. So the reason I really started being a music producer was because, I was working with guys and they were giving me their C, D, E, F stuff.
Yeah.
Give me the A, B, C.
Okay, that's right.
Give me the A and the B stuff. Don't give me your throwaway.
Yeah.
And what I told myself was when I got in music, I said, listen, each artist that I come and I encounter, they're going to get my best.
Yes, sir.
Because for one, you never know who's going to blow and be that next thing, who's going to be next up, right? And so my thing is, people want the Ariana Grandes and the Justin Bieber's, but it's something for me about taking nothing to something.
Yes, sir.
And then like now you have that relationship. It's like we built this together, right? And so, my biggest thing is just like, I give of myself, like you said, I'm gonna treat everybody like they're the number one star in the world. Because now when I do get to the number one stars, it's not a gimmick, it's not a game. This is just what it is. I'm going to give you the quality work. And what I learned is all those lessons that I, learned from just giving out and giving my best, 2 years, maybe 3 years, sometimes 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It paid me back for all that free time, right?
Joe, it just give a game, goddamn it. That's what I'm talking about.
So like, I may not have got it then, but I signed that big deal.
Yeah.
That just, that made up for everything.
That's
right.
You
know what I'm saying? So.
See what I'm saying? Eastside, bro, we doing the right shit over here, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We on our way. You know what I mean? Mark, you too. You come on, man. Hurry up, bro. Because we trying to get, look, I'm trying to get my role when you get your acting gig, bro. I'm just trying to be an extra, bro. We a package deal. Make sure you let them know at the studios. Me and John the package deal. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Now, you transition out to L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that because you coming from, the middle of the map.
Yeah.
You understand? Hooking up with BD.
Yeah, BD.
And let me say this. Let me give a shout out to BD. As a child born in 94, BD, let me tell you something. When you dunked on Karolinko,
man,
I went nuts watching that on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. Oh, ESPN. I would do it myself, but at the same time, like I wanted to put that out there because I remember when he dunked on Karolinko and he pulled his shirt up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I went crazy. I'm a kid. Because Karolinko was my guy too. I ain't gonna front. Yeah. Shout out BD, but I just had to put that out there. Hey BD, just in case you see this. Fan over here, baby. But you transition out to LA. What was that like going from the middle of the map out to LA?
It's a blessing, man, because shouts out to I always gotta give respect. A lot of people don't know Baron Davis spent a lot of time in Kansas City.
Oh, talk about that, goddamn it, because I didn't know this.
Yeah, see, Baron Davis would be here with Earl Watson.
Okay, yes, sir.
Through the summertime because we were in the top. CMH was one of the top programs, and we all crossed paths. But once Earl had committed to going to UCLA, Baron and they were boys. So and eventually Earl would go out to live with BD and his family in LA to kind of get the get settled.
Yes, right.
But BD would come to Kansas City all the time. So I met BD when I was in like sophomore, junior in high school.
Okay, yeah. So y'all got all right.
Yeah. So BD always, BD was a cool. He's from LA, So I'm like, and he was one of the top recruits in the world.
Yes, sir.
But he was always that guy who was just down to earth, man. Mm-hmm. He was like, BD was cool. He accepted me as his little bro. And, literally I watched that dunk Karolinko you saw. I saw that at Kansas Community College in the gym. He rammed on somebody. I don't know who it was, but it was just like that,
Just like that.
But yeah, so, Earl, and that's always I say, Earl paved the way with a lot of things,
Yes,
and I always got to shout him out for that. And, you know, in that relationship with BD was always something that was sustained because BD treated me like family.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was Earl who introduced, because when I was working on music, I would let Earl hear some of the music. And Earl took it out, and I think they had a session. Well, not Wyclef. Who's the other one in the Fugees? Prize.
There we go.
Prize. And so they were in a session. Earl played the music. BD and Prize was, you know, doing some business together, I think. And they went crazy over the music. And Baron was like, yo, I got to get you out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, what we doing? You know, and so it was a blessing, man, to be able to get a call from BD and be like, man, listen, bro, you too talented to just sit in KC. Come out. I got a house. I'm going to training camp. Because when he was going to Cleveland, he's like, but, you know, the house is it's like our house. He's like, come out, bro, and I believe in you.
Yes, sir.
So, and that just belief just opened up the door, because a lot of people, if you don't know, LA cost.
Talk about it now.
LA expensive.
Ooh, one of my homeboys live out there.
Yeah.
Boy, you gotta have you some chicken to be in LA.
And to live in LA, it's serious, but Baron opened up the door for me to be able to do that and live freely and to work on music and develop my craft. And on top of that, BD's connected to everybody you can imagine. And so
LA royalty right there, man.
100%.
Yes, sir.
So it gave me the opportunity to kind of walk in spaces and meet the people that I needed to meet, you know, and, you know, just really gave me the opportunity to be in the space where it was happening.
Yes.
You know.
And I'm glad so the opportunity was presented. What were your days like? You know, BD got the house set up. You able to just work on music. What were your days spent like in LA?
My days
at that early stages.
I was in the trap, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
I was in the trap. You know, even though we lived off of we lived off Hollywood or whatever, off Sunset Boulevard. Actually, it was, you know, it was crazy because, you know, we had anybody from Game to everybody was coming through this house working on music. So I was just in there constantly in the trap, working on music every day, producing, writing, you know, dealing with the LA scene, which is a very tricky scene. It can be, you know. Thank God.
Had to deal with some politics out there, huh?
Politics, man. Thank God I was connected to the right people.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? Because of BD.
Yep.
And you know, it opened up the door for me to be able to walk and move and just be in the trap and just to do what I love.
And were you just making sure you was getting in front of the right people, making sure you in the right sessions?
Yeah, I was. It was easy because, you know, being in LA, like, this is another thing about Wyandotte County.
Okay.
Wyandotte County will prepare you for everything. Mm-hmm. So the stuff that I was doing in Wyandotte County and from my mentor Craig Lindsay, everything that he was teaching me, I was realizing that a lot of cats that are in LA, then let's be honest, a lot of people that live in LA are imports too.
Yes, sir.
But a lot of them are just, you know, they hustlers, and everybody's in the mix trying to get their foot in the door. But a lot of them aren't really as talented as it may seem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people they got that gift of gab. They're going to get in the door and they're going to say, hey, yeah, you know, I wrote a couple of lines in this. But I really did the work.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So I really could engineer a session. I really could produce the music. I really can, you know, make a whole nothing from something.
You can do the whole process.
Yeah, 100%. That's what they call us.
And is that what you, and in your opinion, is that what set you apart? Because you wasn't just a one-trick pony. I could do the whole thing. Whatever you need when you come to the session, I got you.
That was it. And you know, my mentor taught me a long time ago, man. He's like, man, Joe, some days you can't be the producer. I'm like, why? He's like, because you're going to intimidate somebody. He said, but because you got the skill set to write, be the writer that day.
That right.
Right? Some days you may not be able to be the writer or the producer. Be the engineer. Some days you may not be able to be any of those. Be the vocal producer.
Y'all better be taking heed to what Joe putting down up in here, bro. God damn it.
I was able to stay in the session and stay in the room.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want, I learned how not to offend somebody who may be in the big producer or the big writer or whatever. I can throw ideas out and, you know, and then find my way in to figure it out.
I like that.
Know, later.
I like that. Yeah. Now, man, let me ask you this. First and foremost, Joe, let me tell you this, bro, because you write, you do the whole process. Could you turn a motherfucker like me into, you know, somebody, you know what I mean? Because, you know, could you? Like, if I had the right bag.
We could do that.
All right.
Nothing's impossible.
Nothing's impossible.
We do the impossible.
Because listen, I'm going to be honest with y'all. It's a lot of motherfuckers in the music business. I feel like I can do what you do.
Yeah.
When you talking about rappers, I feel like I can do what you do. The shit don't seem hard. And I'm not the ones who really could do it, not the real artists.
Yeah.
There's a lot of motherfuckers in the music game a lot of shit you do is very simple. And I feel like with the right person like Joe, I can tap in and be one of y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? But we'll talk to Joe about that on a later date. You know what I'm saying? We'll get at him about that. Now, let me ask you this, though. One thing I wanted to ask you, and I think it's very imperative for me to ask you this. What is a common trait you see? Because you've worked with some of the biggest names in the game, legendary performers and artists. What is a common trait that you notice with those individuals?
And you know what? Honestly, man, they're ordinary people, bro.
Okay, respect.
And you know, at the end of the day, like they just want space to be themselves. A lot of them are under the lights, and they have to. You know, I remember we talking about Justin Bieber, and it was just like, you know, it was he's wilding out, but really, if you understood what was really going on, the way he broke it down was masterful to me. He was like, okay, you got to realize, since I was a kid, they've been telling me where to go, what to endorse, you know, what to write, what my sound should be, what the picture should look like, and he just wanted to have his freedom to be himself. You know what I mean? And so you gotta, and I couldn't do nothing but respect that.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I'm saying? Being a kid with hundreds of millions of dollars, everybody tugging at you, telling you what you want, where you need to be. He said, I just want to be able to invest and do the things that I want to do, that I believe in. And so, you know, people just want to be ordinary people. And that's what, you know, what I learned was just being in the industry, not to, you know, some guys I see come in sessions, it's like they asking all the questions. They trying to, you know, they trying to make their way in.
Yeah.
But I fell back, and that made people be like, hey, you ain't coming to kick it with us?
Yeah.
No, I'm good. What? You know, I remember Ariana, we're all gonna come to the house and come to the house. I'm like, no, it's okay, you know, chilling.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
You know, but they respect that because they see you looking at them as, you know, I'm just Ariana.
Yeah.
You know, I'm Justin. I'm a human being. I have a heart. I have my ups. I have my downs. And they want space to just be themselves and be able to have their ups and their downs. You know?
I hear that, man. And it's crazy, man, because I've always felt like if I was to meet a celebrity, that's how I would be. I want them to feel. I don't want to seem like paparazzi. I want to, hey, man, I love what you do, and that's it. I don't need to, you know what I mean?
Down to earth, man. They just down to earth people, man.
And take notes, man. You motherfuckers be running up on these celebrities, man. They get that every day. You know what I mean?
Day.
Be you, and you'll stand out. Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, though. You was out in L.A. Are them parties real, bro? Like the parties that everybody be talking about, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like real?
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, shoot, you know.
She really be going on out there.
It be popping, you know what I'm saying? Like, it happens. Things happen, you know what I mean? But, you know, like, I tell people, like, you know, you it's your choice.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, what you want to get involved in. And, you know, I just was in the space. I felt like with basketball and all this, I was able to live life, and I did everything I want to do.
Right.
You know, being a college athlete, you get to go and have the perks of it, you know, perks of everything.
Do you?
And so, but, you know, so that stuff was like cool. I just was never a person, you know, to get caught up in the midst of, you know, just being active and being on the scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, those parties exist. There are crazy things that go on from time to time. And, you know, a lot of it that I seen was just, you know, people just really having a good time and just wanting to explore themselves. And that's cool. That's for some, and it's not for everybody.
I heard that. Because I'm going to tell you what, Joe, the moment, you know, NSPN, the moment we go out to L.A., we good because we have an individual who is going to indulge and all of that. Ain't that right, Mark? We got somebody who going to make sure we get in the dough. You know what I mean?
Indulge, man.
We ain't tripping about none of that. What you got, Esai, bro?
We ain't ever going to L.A. We staying we staying in Kansas. No, because we're going to make them come to us.
No, but wait a minute.
That's it.
Center of the
look,
map.
like
Center
that.
of the map.
Look, Esai, I feel that, baby, but we got to make
You gotta
our
mingle.
presence
You
felt.
gotta mingle sometime.
Thank you.
But then you bring it back home.
That's what we got Mark for.
Mingling is one thing, but we ain't going out there.
Hey, don't you stop
back.
Mark.
We're like Joe over here.
Look,
We're
don't
coming
stop
back.
Mark for his ascension, baby. Don't, because he's an actor. You know, they got to go through different things, certain couches. You know what I mean? And matter of fact, let me ask you this, Joe. You can answer this if you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. But I always hate, bro, when I hear people say you can't be successful without doing certain things out there. How do you feel, bro? Is that true, or how do you feel about that?
No, that's not true.
Okay.
Because, you know, honestly, your gift always gonna make room for you.
Yes, sir.
You know, and people, you know, yes, there are powers that be, and there is a level up that you can get, but guess what? Be your own. Create your own lane. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And what's happened is, and the thing that I think people, that line I hear a lot, but people are just afraid to do the work.
Boom.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, people want instant gratification. People want right now. They think because they post the first song that's supposed to go viral and be popping. That it may work for some. It may be lucky, and you may get that that lucky break. But that's 1 in a million, right? Yeah. Some of this stuff, any artist, I'm gonna tell you, I've been knowing like people like Victoria Monet. I've been watching their grind for years, since 2013, 14, 15, 16, and I'm now seeing them get their shine. D Brown, who is now, you guys know him as Lucky Day.
Yes, sir.
Lucky Day. I've been in the studio. He was there when we were working on Ariana Grande stuff from 2013. I've been knowing these guys, and now to see them, that's 2013. When did he blow up? You see what I'm saying?
Talk about it.
People don't want to put in their work, and they think that instant gratification is going to be. But I want longevity, and so like, yeah, you can do those things, but that stuff does not last. That's how I look at it.
Yes, sir.
And if you put the time in, you put the energy and the effort, man, it may take 5, it may take 10, but like I said, that payoff. Now, Lucky Day doing concerts.
He just came through here, right?
No, he's here tonight.
He here tonight? I'm finna say, yeah.
150,000.
I shot you a DM, Lucky Day. Look, 5 years from now, I'm gonna remind you. I shot you that DM. Go ahead, brother.
Look, 150,000 a show. Woo! So all that money that you and energy that you gave and felt like you got beat and people was hustling you and the powers that be wouldn't let your song be the number 1 song or be the single to put out.
Yeah.
Now he's wrote his own history.
Yes.
150,000 and I'm going to tour every chance. I'm going to do a concert every chance I get.
Talk about. You said you got the mic, bro. You got something?
Yeah, it's just in regards to like the doors.
Go ahead.
Being open
Go ahead.
So like, there's an interview with Kevin Hart and Jay-Z, and Kevin Hart talks to him about like how a lot of people don't realize once you break through that first door into stardom and fame, then you find out there's another door, and once you get through that door, then you realize there's just another one. So like, how far do you think that goes?
Well, there's always levels, right? Mm-hmm. And it's always, to me, it just depends on where you want to go.
Yes.
Some people kick down that first door, they happy where they at right there.
I heard that.
And then you got people like Jay-Z, now they on a different plateau, which is, now the people that are running the world, now you there because now you're moving the needle. So now you become your own boss. That's why you hear them talk about, I got Basquiat's, I got paintings in my house. Because you get hip to new game.
Yes, sir.
And what you start to realize is the stuff that you thought was the thing. Like we growing up in Wyandotte County, you think you got the bling. You got the cars. Man, let me tell you, it's the man that you see rocking them tore up Adidas, hair everywhere. That's the 100 million billionaire. You know what I'm saying? And it's
cold game right there.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's like, man, I got everything.
Yeah.
And your flash, that's cute.
Yeah. But it's levels to this shit.
But my nigga, can you go by City Hall?
Come on now.
Man.
Yeah. You got money to shift an election?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's different. That's a different level.
Hey man, that's some ball shit right there, boy.
So do you think that like Jay-Z even has any more doors to kick open? Or you think he's made it through all of them?
No, it's always doors to kick open. Because I think that this, somatically, like I think that the system is set up in a way, and I think once you can break through certain levels, and that's hard, man, because there are powers that be, and people don't want to believe that, but there are people that just they shift in elections, they're setting things up for their wins. You
right on, you going down his alley. This is what he loved. This is his shit right here.
Yeah, so I mean, like at the end of the day, like that's why I tell people you can feel like you're on top. And even those people are obsolete, man.
Yeah.
You can feel like you're on top. I mean, look at all them people from Weinstein. We talking about princes. We talking about
Soros.
Yeah, so man, we talking about all that stuff.
Yeah.
But man, at any moment you could be out the game.
Yeah.
Or you got to take a seat back and play it low. And so it's like no one's above law and no one's above God.
Yes, sir.
And so humbling experiences always happen to everybody. So I think you always, in a sense of, you like, man, I just got to keep going. I got to keep pushing because it's always going to be adversity and adversaries, and it's going to be people that don't like what you do and people that don't want to see you win. So you got to stay focused and stay in position at all times.
And I got a question for you, man, because you've been in the entertainment, the music industry for a while. And it's something that, you know, these two gentlemen have to kind of help me with. And now I want your advice. How do you not take things personal? Because, you know, it's times where you feel like somebody trying to lowboy you because you don't have a certain status yet. How do you not take things personal in this entertainment industry?
You know what I realized, man? Because, you know, I'm gonna be honest, like I just got to a heightened spirituality for me, where I've been this way though, I would say.
Okay.
The reason I don't take anything personal is because a lot of the stuff that people are throwing at you, they're dealing with stuff within themselves.
Okay.
And so I had to realize that's just a projection that they're trying to put on me that they're dealing with.
Yes, sir.
Somebody hating on me has nothing to do with me, you know, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be consistent being me. And, you know, people will block you. People will try to stop your grow, your glow up or your blow up, whatever it is. But, you know, at the end of the day, only person that can stop you is you. And because it's all about what you give your time and your energy to. I know it's people that be throwing shade, you know, they say little stuff here and there. I'm like, okay, I caught it.
Yeah, you seen it? You
got
beat it.
I got it.
Yeah.
But if I let them keep, you know, shifting my energy, I ain't gonna never get nowhere.
That's what see,
You know.
that's what I'm talking about. And look, and I really, and I'm saying this man to man, bro, I really appreciate that, bro, because that is something that, you know, like I said before, them two then had to, hey, John, bro, don't even trip off that shit, bro, because being from St. Louis, being out here in KC trying to make some shit shake, I've dealt with my fair share of gatekeeping and individuals, you know, leaving me sitting right here, you know what I mean, not showing up. So I do, you know, from the bottom of my heart, bro, I appreciate that, you know,
but
advice,
the bigger
bro.
question you should be asking yourself is, when you're on top, are you gonna be like them?
And look, I'm gonna say this though, Joe. Me personally, no, because for me, like one of the reasons why, like I don't this whole fame thing and wanting to be, you know, notable and all that. It's not about. I want to be able. It's not about me being famous and all that. I really want to affect people's lives, like you. You know, you're a philanthropist. You do work in the community. Those are the type of things I want to do. I want to walk into a school full of kids and the kids, you know, are going crazy. I want to deal with underserved youth, give them an avenue to, you know, be successful. Those are the things that I want. You know what I mean? Get back to community. So I wouldn't, because my whole life, bro, I love showing love to people, which is why I do what I do with this podcast. I love sitting down with people and hearing you say, hey, man, that intro made me feel good. That's just who I am. So that's why it throws me off when somebody isn't like that. It's like, why you not? But that's the game.
You know, that's this goofy business, man. And, you know, I tend not to like, you know, it gets to me sometime, but then I have to remind myself of who I am.
Right.
And, you know, that, you know, my gift is always going to make the room for me.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, people ask me now, you know, it's so funny because being back in, you know, the city and the town, I'm here, you know, let me tell you what, I'm not here because I have to be here.
Ooh, talk heavy now.
I'm here because I want to be.
There you go now.
Right. And I'm creating, just like you guys want to build, I'm creating it where you guys got to come to me. And that's the thing, like, you know, that's where the power is. Like, you want to talk about boss? I can go out and make it. I've made it in L.A.
Yeah.
You know, I can go to Atlanta. I can go get all the placements. I can live in L.A. and in Atlanta and meet everybody and do my thing.
Yeah.
But can I build it here? Because let me tell you, I had to tell somebody this the other day. I said, making it out of Kansas City or building something in Kansas City, if you can do it, you are bad. It's nothing you can. It's nothing you cannot do anywhere in the globe.
That's
bro.
right.
Because this place will teach you lessons, dog, and it will humble you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this place will keep you stagnant. You know?
Okay.
And that's why we'll see a lot of people that just leave. But what we got to do is, and like what you guys are doing, is creating the scene. Right? We're creating our reality. We're creating what we want to see.
Yeah.
And that's the part. Like I said, it's easy to build in these places. It's easy to go, you know, live in L.A. Well, it wasn't easy to live in LA. Let me not say that.
Financially, no.
Financially, no. But the talent wise, being able to get in sessions and letting your gift make room for you, it was so easy.
Yeah.
You know, but to come home sometimes and not get the love from the people from my hometown, I'm like, man, this is weird. I mean, I go to Atlanta right now. People like, hey man, you a producer? I'm like, what? Y'all know? Yeah. You know, but come to home, people like, who you? What? Oh, okay, that's what's up.
Now, how you combat that though, Joe? Like, because for me, I try to ask most of my guests this as a St. Louis native, because it's like I can't, because I mean in St. Louis we kind of really we make sure we push our folks who come around the city. Like we'll talk shit in the city, but outside we make sure we put them on the pedestal. Here in KC, What is that though, bro? Because I see it, but I be feeling wrong speaking on it because I'm not a native.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
what is that?
Everybody want to be first, man.
Okay.
Everybody want to be the first. And what they don't realize is nothing new under the sun, my brothers and
Yes,
sisters.
sir.
And so, like, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like what I'm creating is something, you know, impeccable. But at the same time, I also know that there are other programs around the world too.
Yes.
You know, and, you know, what can I make and how do I build something that's my niche? And what my niche for me has been coming from the heart. Like, I really give back to the kids because I really care. I was the kid that graduated in 1999 that didn't have any of these resources.
Talk about it.
You know, and you guys can block me all you like, but you just stopping the growth for your own success. And that's why I don't get in the way of anybody else that's doing anything. I don't have to like you, and you don't have to like me. But I'm going to support what you're doing if it's something that's moving in the right direction. You know, we don't have to be my friend, and we don't have to get along, and we don't have to kumbaya or none of that stuff.
Nope.
But if I see somebody that's got a vision, and I respect people that get out and say, listen, I'm trying to create and do something that is, you know, not here in this realm right now. So I respect it. I love it. I won't hate on anybody's growth and their business because it's not for me to do. Yeah. You know, and I think people just need to learn to get in their lanes, man.
Yes, sir.
You know
and I appreciate, and I'm sorry to cut your wisdom, Joe. Like, and because what you just said, bro, it's like for me, you are a somebody, right? Relatively speaking, I'm still grinding. So the fact that you even came to sit down with me is a testament to everything you just said.
But see, I look at it differently.
Okay.
You are somebody. So I feel like
appreciate that, Joe.
I can't, who am I as a man to say, oh, that ain't nothing? Because I don't know where my blessings coming from. Woo. This thing could spark and really set off and take me to the next level.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
This interview could be the thing that makes us all escalate and go to the next phase of whatever's next for us, right? Yeah. I don't ever shun small beginnings because I come from it.
That's right. That's
right?
what I'm talking about.
I come with Wyandotte County, man. We come from the grit. We didn't have nothing. My parents didn't have, you know, my mom didn't know about music. My mom didn't know about, you know, she didn't know how to get me in the music business. She didn't know how to, you know, get me in the entertainment business. Mm-hmm. But you know what they had? They opened up the doors. They worked hard for us so we can have an opportunity.
Shout out to mom and pops, man.
Shout out to my mom and pops, my uncles, and the teachers that I had who saw something in me, who said, we're going to make sure you get out of here. Yeah. To my guys that was on the street hustling and would put money in my pocket so I wouldn't have to do the things that they were doing. I thank them because they all were a part of why I am where I am. So I could never forget where I come from.
And that wasn't even in my notes. But break that down, bro, because that is so important, man, because from the outsiders who don't know nothing about the streets, they think everybody is just, you know, criminals and all that. But the truth is, a lot of them dudes who really cut like that, they put them, you know, they put individuals like yourself and me under their wing and go, hey, man, you ain't got to do this, bro. Here, take this and go that way.
They saw because let's be honest with this. Everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants to. I'm telling you, if you black, if you white, if you Asian, if you Mexican, if you Spanish, if you Dominican, if you Puerto Rican, everybody, we all want the same thing. We want to be able to take care of our families, live a life that we don't have to live in struggle, live in, you know, poverty. We want the best for our families and our friends and everybody else that's around us. The hustler that was in the streets, you know, moving and pushing, they just wanted the freedom to be able to say, I'll watch my mom and father struggle, working 4 or 5 jobs just so we can eat. Yeah. They don't want that for their kids. They don't want that for the next generation. They was like, man, we got to do it. And they just took on, that's the mindset they took on, right? Yeah. But the reality is they like knew what we shouldn't be getting into. That's right. And so shouts out, I would like to say their names, but shouts out, they know who they are. Mm-hmm. Shouts out for putting money in my pocket. Shouts out to actually giving me an opportunity to dream that there was more out there for me. You see what I'm saying? And I really thank them because there was times that my mom and my pops couldn't put money in my pocket. Yep. But my homeboys, my brothers that was on the streets, they said, man, here, man, keep hooping. Yes. This ain't your life, bro. Whoa.
And listen, and I want to listen, like Joe said, I can't say his name. Yeah. But one of my favorite memories, bro, when I went off to college, I come home after my freshman year. I'm coming home. It's summertime, Mark. I want to buy me some weed. I'm like, man, give me some weed. I'm trying to get high, bro. I go where I know to go, right? My OG who raised me, basically. I won't say his name. And I'll never forget this moment, Joe. I pull up on the block at the trap. full of niggas. I'm talking a whole porch full of just, it's they out there doing them. Yeah. And when I get out the whip, everybody on the porch like, who the fuck is this? Yeah. Man, my OG in the doorway, the admiration he gave me was out of this world. And this is what I mean, y'all. You got a bunch of young killers and drug dealers sitting on the porch wondering who the fuck is this walking up on the porch. My OG come out the house and say, hey, man, come here. And gave me my praises in front of all them, Joe. And like, look, bro, I'm so proud of you, bro. You went off to school. Yeah. Take this. Yeah. Don't you bring your ass back over here.
Don't come back.
And I low-key get emotional when I think about that moment, bro, because it was one of them moments that helped me realize, man, I'm doing something I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Because he could have easily been like, hey, man, you don't want to get no money real quick. You don't want to just... He said, here, take this. Gave me more than what I wanted for free. Yeah. And was like, bro, don't come back over here, bro. Stay from around here. And all them dudes sitting on the porch had to sit and just be like, damn, we out here doing this for you. You giving praise to this nigga. So, man, shout out to you for that, man.
It's big love, man. And I really, and some of them, they've been down for a minute, they've been locked up. And, I'm able... to say, man, I got some resources. Here you go.
Yes, sir.
Here's some money, man. I appreciate you because I know you didn't forget about me, and I'm not gonna forget about you.
That's right. Now, look, Brother Knowledge walked in the building. Brother Knowledge, come here. Let me holler at you real quick. You know what I mean? Brother Knowledge, this is Joe Black right here. How you doing? That's my dog. LA native, by the way.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Now, look, let me ask you this, brother. I asked him already about the parties out there in LA. Are they real, brother? Like, are they them type of parties? You know what I mean? Because you was in high school when all this shit was going on. I know y'all ventured up into them hills, brother. Is it real, brother? Them type of parties, bro? Don't lie, because Jordan already told us he's in the entertainment business. Don't you try to lie now.
So it's everything you think it is times 3.
Hey, Joe,
because you got to realize though, like if you up in the hills,
yes,
they call it the Platinum Triangle.
Okay.
If you in the Platinum Triangle, bro, you're walking in on the first floor. There's a basement. Mm-hmm. There's a wine cellar under that.
Yeah.
You walk up to the middle, that's just the hallway for the bathrooms. Above that is the bedrooms. Mm-hmm. So whatever you think it is, times about 3, times about 4, times about whatever it is. If you see a portion of the driveway, that's what they want you to see. Yeah. The Lamborghinis are on the back half of the garage.
Yeah.
If you see a big pool right here, that's a small pool because the big pool's down the hill right there next to the guest house. Yeah. Like it's crazy because once you get invited to that kind of stuff, you're looking like, damn.
Different levels.
Mm-hmm. I was bodyguarding Hummingbird Nest Ranch, Suicide Valley. Bro, I walked to the front door. That was the secondary front door. That's where the help walked in at, bro.
Mark, take notes, bro, so we know what doors go through.
The real front door had a fountain around it, bro. So you pull up, get dropped off, pull off, go to the garage park.
Yeah.
That's where the chauffeurs went. You look out the backyard, you see nothing but pools and hills. I said, what do they do back here? One of the brothers came, he's like, yeah, we actually hunt coyotes from back here. From back here? Yeah, they go across the hills, we shoot them, and have them go pick them up and throw them away.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
And then one thing, before you put the mic down, Brother Nas, one thing I want to ask you, bro. Because you are from out there, I'm sure you've seen plenty of people move out to L.A. and life get ruined. Yes or no?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hell yeah. The California hustle's different.
That's what Joe said before you walked in.
It's a job.
Hustle. That's what he said.
You got to have a job, a hustle, and then a grind. And if you get with a woman that's only got one of them, you done for. You get with your crew, you click up with people through money. I tell people all the time, I say, the Midwest is more about do I like you, don't I like you? Yeah. There's more relationships. LA's about, I don't care if I like you or not right now. What's your money looking like?
Man, come on, man. Look,
if
he didn't hear what you said earlier. He said exactly what you said, Brody.
It's all about money, all about that cash.
That's it, man.
And beyond that, what's your image? If you look like you got money, they fucking with you.
That's it.
That's right. Now, one thing I want to ask you, Joe. Tell me about a nightmare. You ain't got to say the artist's name or nothing. Tell me about a nightmare session with an artist, though. Like one of them sessions where you just sitting there like, what the hell am I doing in here? Just break that down for me, please, bro.
Man, let's see, man.
Because I know you got plenty, brother.
Man, it be all kind of stuff that be happening in sessions, man. And really, it be some crazy stuff happening, man. Like, and the thing is, like, people just sometimes, it just depends on who it is. They don't just pull up with themselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes they pulling up with the homies.
Yeah.
Homies got work. I'm like, hold on, cuz.
Yeah.
Oh, fam, you got this weed there. I'm like, man, it's crazy. It's like, man, are we here for, is this the club or are we?
Oh, we here to work.
We here to work, and it's killers, man. Killers be in sessions, man. But the craziest thing, I will say the craziest thing that I've seen happen in a session, I think people ultimately are super respectful.
Yes.
When it comes to me. I had I had an engineer, and this happened here.
Really?
Yeah,
Right now?
Yeah, I had an engineer, man, and we were on the deadline because I was working on some really big projects, and I was like, man, we got to get this stuff mixed. We got to get it mastered. Like we got at least have a solid mix on it, you know. And he was my engineer, just handling this stuff. And so, man, I was like, he's like, all right, Joe, I got it. I'm gonna get it done. And I'm like, all right, bro. I left. Man, I came back at like 1 a.m, bro. Just because I had just left like a club or something.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I was going to check on him because I know he's doing that work, man. And I came back in, bro, and this boy had his face full on the console, snorting a line. He looked back at me. He's like, "Tell me I had to get it done."
Yeah. Well, hey, he had to get it done, though.
I was like, "Dang, bro." I was like, "Nah, not like that.
Not
man.
like that, though,
Nah,
bro.
Not like that, man. If that's what you need to get it done, we doing the wrong thing, bro." So, yeah, man, yeah.
That's right. And then, tell me about who is the hardest working artist you've been around. You know, because at the end of the day, all of them work hard, especially the ones that's on that level. But to you, who's the one you was around? I was like, bro, this motherfucker work ethic is just crazy.
Man, between just because they got so many moving pieces, between Ariana, because it was a time Ariana was like, she be shooting in the morning for the show she was on Nickelodeon, and then after that she would come work at the studio, bro. And it was just like, and she's in school, you know. It was just like between her and Justin Bieber, bro. I got to see some, like, just having to be here, there, this event to that event, and then come back to the studio, and then they got to finish this out, and we got that motion it's crazy, and it let me know that people say they want it, but they really don't. Want it.
Talk heavy now, Joe.
They really don't want it, because I've seen people. I've seen people like put in work.
Yes.
Bro. And like, it's like, man, do you really want it? Yeah, people won't talk about being successful, but it's like, do y'all really want that? Because it is a sacrifice. You know, it is sleepless nights. Sometimes I tell people all the time, like, man, I don't get to see my family. You know, I don't get to see my family. And you know, I got a son. I'm here, there, boom, 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 politicking, My son, I get home, he sleep.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like one of those things. It's like, man, prioritizing is a tough thing, man.
Yeah. And then what advice would you give, Joe, to an individual who want to be in the music industry but not an artist, but they love music and they want to be a part of it? What advice would you give to them?
This is the advice I give everybody, man. And this is something that I think a lot of us, and especially with the music that I see now, a lot of people are getting away from. Being original, man.
Yeah.
And it's so many people out here that are just trying to catch a wave of what's happening or what's selling right now. But being an original is going to always be the thing that takes you to superstar status.
Yes, sir.
And not catching a wave or just, everybody, they doing drill, so I'm going to do drill. They doing this. Man, do something that is fresh.
Yes.
Do the new thing. You know what I mean? And if people just focus on being an original, I think it'll change the trajectory. Think about it. Michael Jackson, Prince, you know, Marvin Gaye. They all were originals, man. You know, and I look at, even with, you know, I love the way, you know, even I give shouts out to Lucky Day and D Mal and how they approach the music. They say, man, we're gonna do real good classic music, man.
Yes.
Not what's happening or what everybody else is doing. We're gonna create our own lane. And then what's happening is once you do that, because being an original, everybody, now you're the wave that everybody's trying to catch. Yes. You know? And that's what I want to be. I want to be the wave everybody's trying to catch.
And man, Joe, I swear to God, like I said, bro, I'm so thankful you came and sat down with me, bro, because you kind of stamping things that be on my mind that I be thinking about, bro, because with this podcast thing, I'm going to say this, and everybody in the podcast industry will feel me on this, bro. If I wanted to go viral, I know how to do it. Yeah. All I got to do is promote negativity. Yeah. Do that 50-50 relationship shit that everybody be doing. And let these little young motherfuckers at KC and St. Louis come up here and promote beefs. Yeah. Or I'd be to the moon. But then I would be stuck doing that, bro. Yeah. And then now, you know what I'm saying? Now don't nobody want to listen to me if I ain't doing that, bro.
Nobody wants to do that, bro.
Yeah, I can't do it. Brother, what you got, bro? What you got, Pepe? Hey, Pops, I need you too, bro. Me and Joe was talking about boxing earlier. I need you real quick.
Listen, we grown, bro. Yeah. If any YNs want to roll through here, acting a fool while I'm trying to enjoy my cigar and my bourbon, we got some real intellectual problems.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, tell her, brother.
Shiesty and all. We got some real problems. They got a turban, whatever. You been out to Oakland?
Yeah.
Is it gang activity in Oakland?
Oh, what?
I didn't say it wasn't gang activity.
I'm just saying
Okay,
that's,
go ahead.
that's where these YNs come from.
Yes.
A lot of terminology y'all don't understand where it came from.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Because a lot is made up by some dude on some perks, sitting by the bay, feel like Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden now you want to come with a YN, bro. Listen, don't bring no YNs through here, bro.
I would never.
From the pineapple to the big apple, y'all stay your ass in school.
I would never. Hey, bro, look, hurry up and check Pops out, because me and Joe was talking about boxing earlier. I want Pops' opinion on something, man. Hurry up, man. What the hell is that anyway? My bad, excuse the hell out of me, goddammit. My bad. All right. Now, look, let me ask you this, Joe. Who's an artist that, you know, when you worked with him, it let you know, oh, man, I'm on. Like, I'm doing something right.
Man, it had, man, I will say this, man. Ariana was the artist that, for me, solidified a lot of things. And it really solidified, you know, everybody that worked on that project, from the writers to, you know, the producers to, you know, it really solidifies because, you know, it was one of those things that nobody saw it coming.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is the story I tell all the time. Like, I got a call from Harmony, H Money, and he was like, man, hey, I need you to work on this project with me. I need you to do the vocals, be the vocal producer on this project. And I'm like, all right. He's like, man, I know you don't know this girl, but I'm telling you, she gonna be big. And I'm like, cool. I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll be honest, I did not know. And until we started working on that music, I'm like, oh, this girl can sing, right?
Can she?
And then just to see, you know, her post me on her page, and then it go crazy. And like, this is fresh to Instagram, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, got 10,000 followers in like 5-10 minutes. I'm like, what's going on? What?
Scared you a little bit.
Yeah,
What the hell
I'm
going
like,
on?
oh, who is she? I started asking my nieces and my nephews. I thought, y'all know this girl? You don't know her, Uncle Joe? I'm like, no, I don't know her, but I know her now.
I know her now.
But just to see that magnitude of star, bro, it let me know. I was like, oh, it's levels to this.
Yes,
man.
sir.
It's levels. And, you know, the thing I will say this about Ariana, the thing I loved about it is she believed in it.
Yeah.
The label didn't.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Label didn't, you know, really see the vision.
Okay.
And honestly, I think once we started creating that music that she just fell in love with, I think that's what really gave her the confidence. Like, no, I believe in this.
Yeah.
You know, and she put out, a lot of people don't know this, I Love the Way.
Mm-hmm.
She shot her own video. Label didn't pay for that.
Oh, come on now.
You know, she called Mac Miller to do that song.
Yes, right.
You know, that was airy.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, when the video came out, we were surprised. We were like, oh, they released a video.
Yeah.
And she told us she was going, like, hours before, and then that thing just went crazy, and then guess what happened? Label had to get behind it.
They had to get with it. See, that's why I love it, man. You can't make this type of shit up, man, because wouldn't nobody have knew that if you didn't give us that insight, Joe. You know what I mean? Motherfucker would have believed, the label, they been new, they believed in everything. That young woman had to believe in herself and do it herself.
Ariana was signed to Universal for years before all of that came out, bro.
Yeah.
She had been signed to Universal.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think Universal couldn't figure it out. They didn't know what would be the thing to take her. But I think, you know, shouts out to Harmony and, you know, Carmen and all those people that were writing the music and Jordan Sparks even. A lot of people don't know.
Shout out Jordan Sparks. Yes, sir.
I Love the Way. Jordan Sparks wrote that.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be the coldest shit. You never know who wrote the shit.
The crazy thing is, let me tell you, the crazy thing about that is, I Love the Way was Jordan Sparks' song. Before Ariana. The label told H and everybody that was the worst song. That they like, this is trash.
Come on, bro.
It was that song was for Jordan. They said, it's trash. It would never make the album.
Yeah.
We put it on Ariana. That was the song that took her off.
Man, thank you, bro. See, this is shit we don't get to know, y'all. We y'all know we not in the loop. We don't get to know this type of shit.
Yeah, man. And that let me know at that moment. I was like, then what are the labels for? What do we?
Come on now.
They not writing the music.
Come on.
They not producing the music. They ain't arranging the music. Shoot, they don't even have a concept for the video.
Yeah.
They don't have a concept for marketing.
Yeah.
But what they do, they have the bag.
Yes, that's
right?
I was just gonna say that.
They have the bag.
They got the bag.
And so that's all they have.
Yeah.
They don't have recording studios. Think about that.
What they doing, paying per diem and shit like that then, huh?
Man, we set up a Harmony studio playing per diem.
Yeah.
They paid Harmony whatever he wanted an hour. I think they was paying like $100, $200 an hour.
Yeah.
But the labels don't have studios. I said they don't have none of these spaces. So what is the label for? And really, I just realized that the label is just the bank.
Just the bank.
Yeah. And so, yeah. And at the end of the day, yep, connection to radio, connection to the commercials, TV side. So I realized that, and that's when I embarked upon what I was doing. I was like, man, we're the creatives.
Yes.
The power needs to be put back in the creatives' hands. Mm-hmm. That's why I started the district. I'm like, I got a studio.
Yes.
I got artists. I'm mixing, I'm mastering, I'm arranging, I'm producing the music. I got everything. I didn't cut my costs.
Yeah, what I need the label for?
Yeah, what the label's doing. So now let's just go give me a bag. Like I think what's his name? Is it Russ?
Russ?
Yeah.
You talking about Russ?
Yeah.
With the independent route?
Yep.
Then went, yeah.
It's like he like, man, I went and got a loan and let's put money behind myself.
Yeah.
And I paid for I did exactly what the labels did. Yeah.
Him and Lil Russell.
Him and Lil Russell.
Him and Lil Russell, yeah. Lil Russell, yeah. He do his thing independently.
Yeah, houses, they don't need the labels.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's why I tell people all the time, we get so caught up in being signed with these artists. Like, I want to get signed. I said, man, listen, you can get signed, cool. But if I got 10,000 fans that I can promote and sell merch to, that I can sell CDs to, or they will stream my music consistently, because now it's just like it's a merch game at this point. I'm going to give them something tangible.
Yes.
I can get 10,000 people to buy a shirt at $20. Do that math. And that's all coming to you.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, man.
So now it's like, shoot, I don't need the labels. Is they put a lot of money into stuff, but I'm like, shoot, if I can just do this, I got 10,000 fans that are committed, that are gonna buy the merch.
Yes.
They're gonna buy the hat. They're gonna buy the shirt.
They're gonna come to the show.
They're gonna come to the show. They're gonna stream the music. Mm-hmm. I'm cool. I can sit and make off a shirt. I can make $200,000-$300,000.
So now, would your advice be to artists coming up? They new in the game. Would your advice be, hey, man, believe in yourself first. Go get the label when you need to.
Yeah, that's always my advice, man.
Okay.
I say if you could stay independent, and most importantly, just do a joint venture with the label.
Okay.
Do a joint venture. That way, you got control, and y'all in partnership now. Mm-hmm. Y'all just not gonna dictate to me what I need to do, and throw money at it, and I'm an employee. No, we in partnership.
Yeah, that's right.
So I tell people, if you're gonna do anything, build it yourself. And then if you're gonna do something with a label, do a joint venture. Do a JV deal.
And what is that? Just distribution and things like that, huh?
Joint ventures, it's basically you just have control. So basically, me and the label, we have partnered together. That's why sometimes you see Interscope and Aftermath. Yeah. Right? So now let us handle the creative. Let us handle this. The machine is behind us too, but we also going to stay creative and we're going to stay original to what we believe in. We're going to produce the music. We're going to do this. And now we're in partnership. Yeah. And so now you can't dictate to me and telling me what I need to do. We're going to agree on it together. Mm-hmm.
Partnership, huh?
Partnership.
Now, Pops, come here. Let me holler at you, Pops, real quick. I know you got comfortable, big dog. I'm sorry, man. I know you got comfortable with your cigar and everything. I got a boxing question. We had a good night last night in boxing, man. I got a question for you, pimpin'. Mark, give him the mic. I can ask Pops a question. Pops, this is Joe Black right here. That's my dog. So look, let me ask you this, Pops. So last night, Ryan Garcia lost last night to Rolly. I said, and I can bring up my notes, y'all. I said it was the wrong fight for him to come back to. But what I want to ask you, Pops, is this. Devin Haney was on the side trolling Ryan for losing. As a man who's been in the boxing game for a numerous amount of years, what are your thoughts on Devin Haney trolling Ryan for losing?
Well, for one, Devin shouldn't have ran his mouth at all. He didn't do good at all.
Man, what?
Hey, Joe, did you say that, Joe?
Man, what?
So since he didn't do good at all, if he would have had a hell of a fight, he didn't throw no punches.
That's what I said. What he landed 72, Pops.
So if with him not throwing no punches, he ain't got no room to say nothing. He shouldn't. He should have just kept his mouth shut.
Yes.
But I think if they fight again, I think Haney could go get him. He gonna train different. Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think Ryan Garcia is something wrong with him. He's done.
You think so, Pops?
Done. Ryan's done.
You think so?
And is it now, Pops? Are you
Ryan
saying
was a good boxer, bro.
Yes.
I mean, and he came from a little small town. He's a good boxer. His daddy trained him in his garage and shit.
Yeah.
But he's done, bro. He's since that last fight. I don't know what he's doing. If he's doing drugs. Yeah. He's taking pills. Yeah. I don't know what he something wrong with him, but he fought like shit yesterday, and you're right. Raleigh ain't no punk. You don't come back with a comeback fight.
Hell no, Pops. I don't know why he did. You don't pick him to come back against.
Ain't De La Hoya his promoter?
Yeah.
That was stupid. Him promoting that fight like that, bro.
That's what I'm so glad you said it, because me being me, you in the boxing game. I'm like, why do you pick Rolly to come back against?
Oh yeah,
that's a bad
that was a bad one. Yeah. That was a bad one, man.
Yeah,
I think people underestimate Rolly, man.
And I don't know why.
No one should underestimate Rolly.
Yeah,
he went at it with Tank,
he's a hell of a fighter.
Yeah,
you know, so it's one of them deals, bro. I mean, it's he came back on the wrong fight, and he shouldn't have done that.
And then, Pops, before you go, let me ask you one more thing. Just as a boxer, are you saying he done just because of up here? Like, just mentally, he just not there no more? Ryan Garcia, he just not there mentally no more?
Something wrong with him mentally right now.
Yeah.
He's not all there. He's and then you get dropped like that, he slowed you down. Yeah. It made you think about what you're gonna do on the next. Yeah. Every next move is gonna make you think.
And then, do you think the woman? And I know I said one more thing. Do you think that's why Haney was so conservative last night, because of that ass whooping he took from Ryan? Because he ain't throw no punches. Do you think a whooping like that messes with you mentally to where you thinking?
No. Because he had plenty of time to recover from that.
Okay. All right.
So it just I don't know what's up. Now his opponent, I didn't get to see a whole bunch of it.
Me neither.
So, but he didn't throw on the highlights. He didn't throw shit.
No.
And then the commentators were talking about that he didn't throw much.
I think Tarver was commentating. Tarver last night, he was commentating. He was saying the same thing. He wasn't throwing no punches.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Ryan defeated Haney.
Excuse me.
He's not
he
gonna be
did,
the
but
same.
if he's on some type of drugs, I mean, you just don't know.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna tell you, if you're on drugs, if it wasn't like a steroid to make you stronger,
yeah.
I don't know. They said it wasn't a steroid neither.
Then they go to your point.
Yeah.
That it's like, I mean, I was on something, but
not a steroid. So just because I'm on some ecstasy or whatnot, it ain't gonna make me better to whoop your ass.
Yeah.
He did beat him that day, but I think on this next one, Haney gonna be ready.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna rematch?
Oh
Pops?
yeah, they'll rematch.
Okay, all right.
But I think Haney gonna be ready.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna be that easy for, especially how Ryan ain't 100% either.
Yeah, I heard that. Appreciate you, Pops. Now, this one thing I want to ask you, Joe. You know, we older now. You know what I mean? And there's certain advice we could have got when we was kids that could have, made things a little more easier. What advice do you wish you would have got in your younger years in this music industry, or just in life, period?
Man, and honestly, even when it comes from basketball to everything, my biggest thing is I tell people all the time, like, the women gonna be there.
Oh, now, there we go now.
Women gonna be there. But if you want to really do something, you really got to invest yourself and be consistent with it.
Yes.
You have to really put your time and your energy to that thing, man, and really give yourself a shot to take it to that level.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, what happens is we get caught up and we young and love and all this kind of stuff. I tell people the distractions, if you can eliminate as many distractions as possible and be able to focus and put your focus on your craft, it really is going to take you to the next level. And I've seen it happen time and time. It's people's dedication to what they're doing.
Yes, sir.
And so I just tell people, like, really dedicate yourself, focus yourself, tune out all the distractions, and don't let nobody tell you something's impossible. Because people are only telling you from their perception and not what I've seen people live out their dreams, man. But I've also seen people tell me that it couldn't be done.
Yeah.
And so if I had to believe those people that told me that it was impossible, I just rerouted that and I said, no, we do the impossible.
No,
it
that's
is
right.
what we are. We are the impossible, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, man, that's my biggest thing. Consistency, dedication, focus. That's the thing, man. That is it.
Man, I love that. And if I could give any advice, I always say this, man. Now that I'm, I done touched 30, Joe, I always say this, man. Man, I wasted so much time, bro, trying to be a young street nigga, bro. You know what I'm saying? Worried about shit that didn't mean nothing, bro. Like, it didn't mean nothing, bro. Like, and listen, take it from me. I thought that's what I wanted to be. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It meant nothing now. Like, I got homeboys still doing time dead and gone. It's like, bro, what the fuck did we do all that for?
Listen, dude, it's girls that I dated, and I'm like, bro, I don't even talk to them no more.
Yeah.
Like, like, we don't even communicate. We're not even the same people. And I look back, I'm like, dang, why did I ever? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, dang, that's time that I wasted that could have been put to something else.
Yes, sir.
Which is my craft. You know what I mean? And I just wish, to me, if I had taken that, time to, dedicate myself and just do the tunnel vision.
Yes.
And to focus on what need to be focused on, I think it would have taken me to the whole nother height.
Yeah. What you got, brother Knowledge?
And you too, John. Do you think that if you didn't go through the BS you went through growing up, trying to see this, trying to be that, because you have indirect influence you don't even see.
Yeah.
We all knew the D-boy with the 12s in the trunk coming through like, man, that's my okay. I'm trying to make I'm trying to make something like that.
Yeah.
And then you got in the studio and you hit that click. I remember that.
Yeah.
So everything you've been through kind of full circle come back around.
Yep.
You just went left when other people went right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
No, 100%. Like, I think, watching my mom work 2-3 jobs, watching the, homies, get taken out, getting killed. Just being in certain rooms and those no's that happen, it really created a monster and a man in me to be able to say, no. But, I also had to realize that everybody didn't have that determination too.
Right.
And so, like, those things that happened, the character flaws, friends turning on me, all kind of stuff, it really created me to be the man that I am today.
Yeah.
And really say, and that's why I always pose that question to you was, yes, people treated me like this, but when it's your time, when you're on top, are you going to be like them?
That was a good question, too.
And so my thing is, no, I'm not going to be like them because I'm better than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And you said something that just clicked for me on some philosophical type shit, literature type shit. Frankenstein wasn't a monster. The village made him the monster.
Yeah.
He was just a regular
Hey,
old
brother,
being.
hold on, bro. I told your ass stop coming on my platform get fans and shit, bro.
He said something.
I told you
He
about
said
this shit,
something.
bro.
He said the hood did it to me. It wasn't me.
Yeah, yeah.
The hood hit me.
You know what I'm
The hood
saying?
gave my heartbeat. I said
Yeah.
Frankenstein wasn't a monster. The village made him the monster.
It did.
He was just a regular old dude, missing an arm, missing a leg, trying to get along his way.
Hey, bro, you trying to, look, Frankenstein was trying to make his way. Now, look, Marky Mark, I ain't asked you no question all day, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that, brother, so I got to pose this to you, bro. It's some online going viral right now. 100 men versus one gorilla, baby. What's your thoughts on this, Marky Mark? Well, hold on. First of all, what we do? How we looking on time, baby? Because I know Joe a Benny's man.
We're at 112.
Good. 100 men versus one gorilla, brother. What are you thinking about this, Mark?
Like, could we take him?
You know the motherfucking question. I ain't brand new.
I think 100 dudes could take a gorilla.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, only about maybe like 30 of them can actually get to the gorilla, but I think we could overpower it.
Think so? Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Like, enough people, enough sacrifices eventually make it tired.
Yeah, boy, you said the key word. Sacrifice. Boy, hey, brother Knowledge, what you got,
That's
baby?
that's the thing, though.
Okay, go ahead,
Who's
Joe.
willing to sacrifice?
That's
Who's
what I
going to
be
be the
saying.
first to run up?
That's what I be saying.
All right.
What you got, brother Knowledge?
Gorilla got raw strength.
Right.
We got compilation. We're going to work together side by side. If you kick him, I kick him. You looking like Rush Hour. Who hit me?
Yeah.
Gorilla go up, bro. And you start putting things on him, bro.
Yeah.
Eastside, what you got, brother? What you got, bro? You think we got him 100 men versus one gorilla?
Nah, I think Gorilla's gonna take him.
Oh.
Because you got to think it's like I've heard this multiple times, multiple people, but like it's true. Once that first motherfucker gets fucked up, I say about half of them are gonna be
Half
of the guys.
90% gonna be like, oh, hell no.
Okay, maybe 90%.
Yeah.
But like it's too much of that mental factor involved in it.
Bro.
Yeah.
That you lose the fight before you get in the ring. You know.
But they didn't say in the room though. They just said 1 versus 100 gorilla.
And that motherfucker bites. Fuck that. No.
Joe, what you got, bro? You think we got him, bro? 100 men versus one gorilla? You think we got him, bro?
It just depends. Do I get to handpick the people I'm going in the room with? Because, like, everybody say they about that life until it's time to be about that life.
That's right.
So if I'm going in with some, hey, we got a mission and we're going to be in one accord.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're going to win. But if not, like he said, that one person, they take that first smash.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, nobody's doing that.
Listen to me, man. Listen, if I ain't going in with 100 shacks,
Right.
I don't want to do it. Now, if you see me in there with a bunch of NFL linemen, hey, man, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? We can make some shit shake. I'm not going in there with me Eastside motherfuckers built like us. No, it's not happening, bro. I said us, bro. I ain't leave you out. I said us. Yeah. But I got a plan, though, y'all. This was my thought. Every time I see this question posed, this question come up, all I need is 100 crackheads. All I need is 100 crackheads. What do you know what a crackhead to do for a rock?
Fresh on the edges.
I'm talking about, first of all, the strength is phenomenal. Okay.
This gorilla right here?
Listen, that 10-minute high that they experience, they gonna make some shit shake. Hey. They can flip over cars off that crack, boy.
And what's that got to do with mental? That's everybody mental ain't gonna be right. It's somebody's mental. It's depending where you at.
I can't look. Me personally, I ain't doing it. Let me say this: all the men talking about that we can do it. Mark, George, get your ass out there first. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Y'all need to be front line. Goddamn it! I feel you, baby. That gorilla gonna bite your damn neck off.
Yeah, I'm cool.
I need you to prize.
Oh, you don't need me to do nothing because I'm gonna be the last. They talking 100 men. I'm gonna be the 100. Goddamn me.
I can't even trust you anyway, bro.
What? Why not, brother? Why, brother? Not with you. You can't trust me.
Survival situation. I can't trust you anyway.
Oh, you talking about the apocalypse, bro? Joe, they mad at me because I said if the apocalypse jump off, don't trust me. I'm just keeping it real. Yeah, come on, brother. But we talking about a gorilla, baby. We ain't talking about the world ending. I'm just on. I watched 6 seasons of Walking Dead. I'll be on my own, bro. I'm Rick.
What if the world ended because of gorillas? Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes, but I'm gonna be on their side, baby. You know what I mean? I'm gonna find. Look, Mark. You know I got to get some gas, baby. I'm gonna find my way in and let them folks know. Hey, whoa. No, it's a silverback.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, bro. A silverback. What? How much a silverback weigh? 400 pounds.
The big ones.
And when it stand up on his, what is it? 6 what?
6.
Something.
Oh, it's 7.
Brother, you sitting in on the podcast now. You think 100 men can take one gorilla?
He's going in first too.
Not even close, huh? Oh, so everybody that's a non-believer, you sitting in first.
Look, the gorilla got that real dog. He's like, y'all doing this? We going. I'm going at you.
Who gonna run up first, bro?
Nobody doing that.
I'm gonna see him double drop kick somebody. He gonna bounce off somebody.
I'm telling you, once they see him rip off someone's arm and use it like nunchucks on them, they're done. It's gonna be someone like
George.
Me
He
sure.
gonna rip your arm off too, dog. You ain't gonna shit. No, you ain't sitting me in first.
You're done.
Now, excuse me. Now, before you go, Joe, I do want to talk about the foundation, bro.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Because I think it's important to highlight those type of things. What made you want to start a foundation and give back to the youth of Kansas City?
Well, I came back like kind of at the height of my career to Kansas City. My father was on a decline, and I was just like coming back to visit him. He was in the hospital, and I was asked to speak at some schools, and I just was asking around. I was like, man, so do they have any programs for the kids that deal with the arts or music? And they're like, Joe, we ain't got nothing. And it really like, man, like I said before, I graduated in 1999. I'm like, man, I graduated in 99 and y'all still don't have programs for the kids? And so, I'm always been one of those people. People always, talk about, it's nothing to do in Kansas City. Kansas City ain't this, Kansas City ain't that. Well, if it ain't, then let's create it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what Mike Simmons has created with this.
Yes,
it's
sir.
Like, we kids from the dot, but, like we can create the things that we don't see.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was imperative for me to be able to give opportunities to kids that were just like me, that didn't have an opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Or didn't, whose parents didn't know where to take them, or just an opportunity for them to stay off the streets, Yeah. And so, creating this program has been like life-changing. It's really become my life's mission, man. And, a lot of people I'm going to be real frank with this. A lot of people doing it for the money.
Talk about it now.
They see the program. They see that the school district is giving money and all this stuff. Everything that I built from these studios that we're building to this content creation space is coming from my pocket. Mm-hmm. We've had some help here and there, but the majority of this is coming from my pocket. It's because I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in that we can change the narrative around the systems and that are happening in our city. And these aren't at-risk kids. These are just kids that need an opportunity to be in a space, to be able to feel important, to be able to feel like they're welcome, to be able to feel like they can thrive. Mm-hmm. Instead of calling them at-risk kids and they're trouble kids and all that other stuff. Give them an opportunity to show them different, to show you different. Especially give them an opportunity to go to different spaces that they've never been to before. Some of my kids have never even been to the Crossroads. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
come on, man.
You from Kansas City,
Talk
you've
about
never been
it.
to the Crossroads?
Right.
So that let me know, like, man, we just not introducing our kids to something that they need.
Yes.
Which is culture.
Yeah.
Which is other school districts. What happened to all school dances? You know what I'm saying? Where you get to meet other people from different schools.
Taking everything away from them babies, man.
Yeah,
Wonder why they out here wilding.
And you don't know what they're going to do or how they're going to react until you provide an opportunity, a safe space for them. You know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, the foundation has been like, it's my heart, man. We're building out this new facility now. It's been, it's been a lot of ups, a lot of highs, but there are trying times that come with this too.
Yes.
And getting the city support has sometimes always been tricky, but at the same time, I can't focus on that. We got to focus on what we can do.
Yes.
And that's been my mission, to focus on what we can do, what we can change, and to keep building this thing. And I'm blessed to, be able to, create music and do this thing and be able to get paid from it. And so just using my resources. I didn't want to be the guy that said, man, I love Kansas City. I love Kansas City, but I don't come back and get back to Kansas City.
And one more thing too. Joe said it on his Instagram. If you are goddamn me getting hit up by individuals that's not Joe, for studio time or help with your music, that's not Joe. You need to go on his Instagram. Yep. He gave you the platform on how to make sure you talking directly to him. How do you combat that though?
It's hard.
Where people
man.
trying to make money off your name.
Man, I've literally, man, it's been crazy, bro. I literally have people hit me up, and they've paid people $10,000 to $20,000 or $30,000 to work with me, and somebody's just hustling them, man. And it's really a sad thing to see, because honestly, y'all, I work hard for what I do. And,
yes, sir.
My name and, means a lot. I ain't perfect by any means, but when it comes to this music, I know what I'm doing, and I'm blessed to be able to have this gift. But to have someone capitalize and, use my name to make money, and, I can see, make your money. If you're going to make your money, cool. But make sure you throw me mine, too. You know
Give me my cut, too.
Give me my cut, and at least bring these people to me, and we can have a square business. And you can make some money, and I'll make some money. And everybody wins.
Yep.
But, people just, need quick dollars and doing that. And people have really been taken for tens to twenties to thousands of dollars, man.
Thinking they dealing with you.
Yeah,
and man. Listen, like I say, man, follow what Joe got going on, man, because you'll never get bamboozled. I'm happy you did that, because that was great. What I seen on Instagram, letting me know, hey, look,
man.
you put the .com to go to, the page to go to. You can't miss. Long as you follow my dog on Instagram, you'll never be steered wrong.
Never be wrong.
And I'm gonna tell you what, Joe, if you ain't doing nothing May 16th, my man right over there. You know what I'm saying? That's Pops right there. Pops. We got the Friday nights under the bridge, round 4.
Okay.
It's a Stop the Violence event.
Okay.
That they put together under the bridge. Good boxing events. If you ain't doing nothing, you bring your kids and everybody in the foundation out, man. We doing it big out there.
Speaking of that, Pops, I got a boxing ring in my facility that I'm in now. If you ever want to do events there, it's open. I love to have that, because I got 8,000 square feet.
What the hell I do, man?
You can come see it. You can put it wherever you want. Yeah, I got the ring there. It's already there. Yeah. Yep, set up everything. I'm off right downtown off of Truman, 14th and Agnes. Yeah. So please, I'm welcoming everybody. I'm trying to build a space where we all have space.
That's what I'm talking about. See, look, and see, y'all see what the hell John got going on. I'm putting people together that do good work. You know what I mean? I'm not putting together no negativity. I'm putting people together who are out here for the youth, trying to do good in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And this event, that I was just talking about under the bridge, hosted by your boy again. Pops, what I'm on, the third one I done did for y'all? You know what I'm saying, baby? And I'm only going to get better and better out there watching the babies get in there, stop the violence. They putting them knuckles up. Goddamn me. And for the right bag, Pops, I get in there with Esai. Shit, boy, you done taught me enough. Goddamn it, I kick Esai ass in there, boy. Hey, Pops, look, I get him, Pops. I'm telling you, I get him, bro. Well, hold on, what you say? Hold on. Let me do this before we get up out of here, Joe. What you say?
He said you trying to deal with the gorilla, can't even take me first.
First of all, let me say this. I'm just keeping it real. I whoop George ass, Mark ass, and Esai ass in the ring. Esai know how I get down, bro.
Not in boxing, not for me.
So, Esai, you still give me the ring?
Wait. But I'm still the sensei. At the end of the day, still you haven't surpassed the sensei yet.
I haven't. I haven't. But Esai, you don't think I can get down with you in there, bro?
No, you get down with me. I'm not gonna fuck you up or nothing.
Okay.
But you ain't gonna take me, is what I'm saying.
So you still think you can beat me?
You ain't gonna get the better end of me.
You ain't been boxing though, cuz I be in there.
Yeah, no, but once you box, it never leaves.
Yeah, that's like riding bike.
Esai.
Hey, Joe, this your fight right here. Esai versus John.
Nah, kick Esai ass. We ain't even in the
ready to promote.
We ain't even in the same weight class.
Let's get it going.
Look, we ain't even in the same weight class, bro. It ain't even gonna be right, bro.
Esai and John.
Get him the mic, because this is good here.
I'll meet you at 175.
I'm not coming down to 175. No. I'm 203 right now. I'm not coming down to 175.
See, that's the only way.
So you ain't gonna come with
we get an exhibition?
180.
Meet me at 185.
I'll meet you at 180.
I kick his ass, boy. I'm talking, right. Let me not say that because, like I said before, I want to thank my dog because I was a street fighter for a long time, Joe. Yeah. Man, that motherfucker got me in the ring. He got my shit sharp, boy. I'm in that motherfucker looking good, boy. I got motherfuckers hitting me up. Yeah, bro, you looking good. Just make sure you keep that hand up. Shut up, punk.
hey, but if you met me at 180, I'm getting malnourished, John. So
that's
I
a
might
good
have
point, cuz.
I
ain't been 180 since college, though. You right. I ain't been 180 since I stepped freshman year.
The weight I pick on is gonna be on muscle.
I mean, but I'm saying though, I ain't gonna be done be trimming down though.
You gonna be spitting into a water bottle.
But I'm gonna be quickish. You know what? It's all good. See, this is what happens when your sensei becomes your opponent. You know what I mean? But no, Joe, let me ask you something, bro. Is there anything you want to give, bro? One piece of advice you want to give to the world before you get up out of here, bro?
Man, don't let nobody veer you off of living your dream, man. There's too many people out here living below because somebody told them that something can't be done. Don't let that be your narrative, man. Create your own picture, paint your own vision, write it out, make it simple, make it plain, and just keep going, man. It's nothing impossible. We do the impossible.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the biggest thing I want people to know. Like, we do the impossible, and we're waiting for you to create that new thing because we need you to do that. You know, like, we need you to create that new platform. We need you to create that new software. We need you to create that new song. We need you to write that new book. We need y'all. So please step up. I don't want y'all going to the grave with all those gifts and all those blessings and all those unwritten books. We want you to manifest everything and die empty.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about, man. Now, look, man, it's been another amazing episode. First and foremost, I want to thank my dog yet again, bro, for coming through, kicking it with me, man, because he ain't have to. That's just a businessman I'm sitting, next to. You know what I'm saying? He got a bunch of things I'm sure he's going to do when he get up out of here.
I'm out of here. I'm going to
You know what I'm saying? Look, phone blowing up. Where the hell you been at? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I want to thank my dog for coming through. It's been another amazing episode of I-70 Podcast with your boy, Jonathan Little, a.k.a. John. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. Make sure you follow Joe Black on his Instagram. We're going to put it at the bottom so you ain't got to worry about it. Thank y'all, man.
Thank you.